Browns fans, we are standing at a massive crossroads right now, and the energy in Cleveland is absolutely electric as we head into 2026. This quarterback battle is tearing the city apart because the stakes have never been higher for our franchise. Everything we thought we knew about the depth chart is being challenged by raw talent and family drama that just won't quit. We are building the strongest tribe in the NFL right here. So hit that subscribe button and help us reach 3,000 subscribers today. Tell me your name and where you are representing the legendary Dawg Pound below. Listen closely, because the future of the Cleveland Browns is hanging in the balance right now as we watch Shedeur Sanders fight for his life in this quarterback room. We are talking about a young man who stepped onto the field as a rookie last season and showed us glimpses of what could be, even if the road was rocky. Shedeur Sanders started 7 games for us in 2025, and while that 3-4 record might not scream greatness to the rest of the league, we saw the grit behind the numbers. He threw for 1,400 yards and 7 touchdowns, but those 10 interceptions were a wake-up call that the NFL is a different beast entirely. But here is the thing that should make every single fan in Cleveland stand up and pay attention, because Todd Monken is seeing something special developing behind the scenes. Our offensive coordinator is out here telling everyone that Shedeur Sanders has come miles in terms of his progressions and his understanding of concepts, which is exactly what you want to hear during spring practices. He is getting the ball out faster and showing a level of growth that makes you wonder if he is about to explode onto the scene in 2026. The competition is fierce, and the pressure is mounting, but Shedeur Sanders is still firmly in the mix for that starting job because the upside is just too massive to ignore. We have seen players crumble under the weight of the Cleveland spotlight, but Shedeur Sanders seems to thrive on the noise and the expectations of a city that is starving for a winner. The coaches are praising his progress, and it feels like we are on the verge of something historic if he can just put all the pieces together. This isn't just about stats or wins and losses, yet it is about the evolution of a franchise quarterback who is learning how to lead a locker room filled with veterans and hungry rookies alike. He is the spark that could ignite our entire season if he truly wins. But wait, because things just got a whole lot more complicated in the world of Shedeur Sanders, and it involves his own flesh and blood. His older brother Shedeur Sanders is making headlines for all the wrong reasons, and it feels like a heavy cloud is hanging over the family legacy right now. Shedeur Sanders recently took to his YouTube channel to drop a bombshell that has everyone in the league talking, because it looks like he is officially moving on from his NFL dream after a brief and incredibly rocky stint. This is a guy who went undrafted out of Colorado in 2025 and signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but things went south almost immediately. We all remember that preseason game where Shedeur Sanders was ejected for throwing a punch, and he was cut shortly after that incident left a sour taste in everyone's mouth. Now he is opening up about his future, and the words he used are honestly heartbreaking for any athlete to hear. Shedeur Sanders said that it takes a special kind of guy to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and he straight up admitted that he doesn't think there is any light in his tunnel anymore. He is still working out like a normal human being, but the intense training required for an NFL training camp is something he just isn't preparing for right now. It is a massive shift from the confidence we usually see from that family. And you have to wonder how this is affecting Shedeur Sanders as he tries to stay focused on the Browns. Shedeur Sanders has always been a major voice in the inner circle of Shedeur Sanders, and seeing your brother give up on the dream has to be a mental weight that is hard to carry. The reality is that Shedeur Sanders doesn't sound like someone who is looking for another home in the league, and that leaves Shedeur Sanders to carry the entire family torch alone in the cold world of professional football, where only the strongest can survive this long season. The drama doesn't stop with the retirement talk, because Shedeur Sanders has also been creating a massive distraction for Shedeur Sanders by getting into it with our very own local media. We are talking about a heated online tiff with Mary Kay Cabot, who has been reporting on the Cleveland Browns for a very long time and knows this team inside and out. It all started when Cabot reported that Deshaun Watson was gaining significant momentum in the quarterback competition, which is just part of her job as a reporter. But Shedeur Sanders did not take that news well at all, and he decided to fire back with a comment telling her to go make a sandwich. The backlash was immediate, and people everywhere were calling the comment sexist and completely unnecessary. But Shedeur Sanders didn't back down or apologize. Instead, he doubled down on his Twitch channel and claimed that if you are going to be a reporter, you need to report facts. He basically accused Mary Kay Cabot of having a hateful agenda against Shedeur Sanders and suggested that her opinions are always something weird. This is the kind of outside noise that can absolutely destroy a young player's focus, and you have to ask yourself if this is helping or hurting Shedeur Sanders in the eyes of the front office. We know that the Cleveland Browns organization values professionalism, and having the brother of your potential starting quarterback attacking respected reporters is a nightmare scenario for any PR team. Is this creating a us versus them mentality that will fuel Shedeur Sanders to prove everyone wrong, or is it just a toxic distraction that he doesn't need right now? The pressure of being a quarterback in this city is already explosive enough without family members adding fuel to the fire on social media. We need Shedeur Sanders focused on the playbook and the defensive schemes he is going to face, and not worrying about what people are saying on the internet today. Seriously though, we have to look at the cold, hard facts of what is happening on the practice field because the competition for that starting spot is becoming a total battleground. Todd Monken has been very clear that nothing has really changed in terms of the competition, and he is framing this as a completely open job. Deshaun Watson is the veteran in the room, and he is coming back with a lot of momentum after his injury, which makes him a formidable obstacle for Shedeur Sanders to overcome. But the room is even more crowded than that, because we still have Dillon Gabriel and the rookie Taylon Green fighting for reps and trying to prove they belong in the conversation. It is a high-stakes game of musical chairs, and only one person can be under center when the season kicks off in 2026. Shedeur Sanders is leaning on that experience from last year, where he showed he could handle the pressure of starting 7 games, but he knows that the leash will be short this time around. The Browns saw enough upside to keep him in the mix, but the results on the field have to match the hype this year, or things could get ugly fast. I am losing my mind thinking about the potential of Shedeur Sanders taking that next step, because his progression in understanding concepts has been praised by everyone who watches him work. But can he block out the noise from his brother and the media long enough to beat out a veteran like Deshaun Watson? It feels like a cinematic struggle where the young lion is trying to take down the established king while the rest of the league watches and waits for a mistake. The tension during these spring practices is at an all-time high, and every single throw is being scrutinized by the coaching staff and the fans. We are witnessing a defining moment for this franchise, and the choice they make at quarterback is truly huge. As we wrap this up, you have to realize that we are at a turning point that will define the legacy of the Cleveland Browns for the next decade. Shedeur Sanders is standing at the center of a storm fueled by family drama and a brutal quarterback competition that could lead us to glory or leave us in a total nightmare. The news about Shiloh Sanders moving on from the league is a somber reminder of how quickly these dreams can fade, and it puts even more weight on the shoulders of Shedeur Sanders to succeed. We are watching a young man who has come miles in his development, according to Todd Monken, and we need to decide if we are ready to go all in on his potential. Is he the guy who can lead us to the promised land, or are the distractions and the presence of Deshaun Watson too much to overcome right now? I want to see your fire in the comments below because this tribe needs to be heard, and we need to know where you stand on this massive decision. Do you think Shedeur Sanders has what it takes to win the starting job and silence the critics? Or are we headed for a disaster if we don't stick with the veteran presence? This is our year, and we cannot afford to let any more opportunities slip through our fingers while the rest of the league counts us out. We are building something special here, and I need all 3,000 of you to join this movement by hitting that subscribe button right now so we can keep this conversation going every single day. Your voice matters, and your passion is what keeps this team alive, even when the headlines get crazy and the pressure feels unbearable. This is about more than just football. It is about the soul of Cleveland and the future of our legendary team. Dawg Pound,